Greetings, fellow Terrans. Professor McKee here with the next episode for our Terra Invicta playthrough. And just as a quick recap of our current position, we have most of the United States, except the presidency. The 3 cracked points will be gone in April, so in just a few months. And we finally have enough persuasion to start taking attempts at getting a few points in China, and then we can get popular opinion back to something more appropriate for our purposes. We of course have Kazakhstan, and at the very end of the previous episode we had established our first outpost on the moon. The tech that unlocks, or that allows you to build a mine, is not unlocked yet. It should be unlocking any day now, so I'm waiting for that. And we will hopefully get that soon so I can start getting some resources, because Mission to Mars is going to be finished in a month, and I'll have to start sending modules and probes and mines over there, and I want some base metals to reduce the boost cost. Alright, so before I start going through everything, I had a great question from the episode 1 video, which was why I was spreading the research out across all the different projects and the global research. The reason for that is that the game gives you a bonus if you spread this out. So if I hover over here, I have my sources of income, faction headquarters, counselors, nations, my HABs, unused mission control, and research distribution bonus. So every day I get an extra 5 research because I've spread it out across 5 once. So if I were to say stop researching my projects, my research distribution bonus drops down to 3. So I generally keep researching everything, at least a little bit, because it just increases your research output. Now, another reason to do this for the global techs is that for a project, sometimes they don't have a 100% unlock chance. The more you contribute, the more likely these things are to unlock. So if I were to contribute, let's find, here we go. So if I were to contribute 36%, then reusable rockets is guaranteed to unlock. So as long as I get 36% of 1,000, so 360 research into this global tech, I'm guaranteed to get this project. If I have less, say I only have 10%, then I would only get a 74% chance. You add that percentage chance to the base amount here. I believe this base amount is already including one of my counselors, the engineer, Thomas here, who has, not that one, innovative. He has an innovative trait that gives you an extra 10% chance for projects to trigger. So that's another reason you want to always contribute to these global techs. The tech will tell you, so this one there's an advantage too, because if I contribute, my scanning of the mining sites will happen faster. But you generally want to spread them out. Now, in very extreme situations where you're desperate to get one tech as fast as possible, you might drop it out because the research directed here would be more. But I believe in most circumstances you would want to spread it out. And the game kind of encourages that with the type of research. So if I had multiple, well, here, I've got 2 in social science. There's diminishing returns. Okay, I mentioned this earlier. And in the patches, the developers have also changed investment priorities. So if you invest in things like economy, welfare, environment, and you spread it out across that country, then you get and for welfare it's up to 10% bonus for all other investments. So if I was investing in other things as well, I would get a bonus because I'm investing in welfare. Now, in this case, I'm concentrating very heavily on welfare because I'm really trying to fix the cohesion. I've gotten it back up to a resting value of 2.67. I want it to have a resting value of between 4 to 6. That's the range where the research output would be the highest. And I need to get public opinion better, which is why I'm doing some unity. I also need to get the inequality down. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question. And thanks for asking. Maybe I'll have some tutorials that I'm making on like the type of text to get, but maybe I'll make one just on how to get lots of research. There's several sources for it. All right, let's look at our counselors. So we are taking that 43% chance swing at China. Hopefully that works. And everyone else is doing various things.
Where do you need me?
All right, probably we'll get that tech unlocked very soon. Okay, here we go. We have Outpost Mining Complex unlocked. So I'm going to immediately shift off fission piles. Where is it? Here we go. And prioritize it. So this will be done in January, right after we send out the probe. Of course, the probe will take many months to arrive in Mars. Mars is kind of far away from Earth. But the sooner I get this up, the better. And I could remove everything else and I get it up by December. I think that would actually be worth doing, just because I'm squeezing out a little bit of extra mines. My boost income is respectable especially compared to the AI. But yes, I'm actually going to do just completely focusing on the outpost mining and nothing else. Oh, that is painful to see. We were so close. Almost roll a success there, but we will continue this and we will get China soon. All right, outpost mining complex complete, so I can now build a mine. So let's do it. Oh, I don't have enough boost for it. Oh wow, I'm way short on boost. I need 56. Huh. I didn't realize it was that expensive. Alright, well I need a lot more boost then, and everyone else AI does too, so they're gonna have a hard time getting mine set up as well. Now, chemical rocketry will help. There's a couple techs here that will make things cheaper for this sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to prioritize next. Advanced chemical rocketry is complete. Initiative picked carbon nanotubes, which I think it's eventually useful, but it's not immediately impactful for getting up into space. And there's a bunch of projects. Interplanetary rockets would be great in terms of reducing boost, but also, honestly, all of these will be helpful, especially since I'm way shorter on boost than I realized. So, yeah. All right, mission to Mars is complete, and Resistance picked solid core fission systems, which is actually really good because that is what unlocks nuclear freighters, which greatly reduce boost costs. Boost cost is kind of rough on me right now. It doesn't let me immediately send the probe, so I wonder if I have enough boost even. No, I do. I got plenty of boost. It's going to take over a year. If I'd been able to control research better, I could have perhaps already had things reducing here, but the sooner you release it, the better. The faster probes is not actually necessary. I will beat the AI. I hope. And even if I don't, they don't have much boost. They have even less boost than I do. Also, many of them are building stations in orbit, which is really bad idea before you can actually support it. Right now, they're just paying a ton of boost for these stations that don't really do anything for them. All right, probe away, and let's see if the next shot at China works.
Over.
Yes, we got it. We have a foothold in China now. Thank goodness, she finally got it. This is his third try, this recording. So, in order to get my public opinion into a good place, I'm going to put it 100% on Unity for this control point. And as you can see, I am now losing a ridiculous amount of influence. This is because I have way too many control points. So in order to save on the influence, I'm going to abandon a whole bunch of ones. So Uruguay, that's costing me 7. And I was just doing this to give Thomas something to do because I didn't want to spend the influence. That's gone. And I'm just going to abandon everything I picked up in the Caribbean and Central America, because I will eventually merge these into US, but that's going to be a long time from now. Unfortunately, they are giving me some science and money, but China's more important. Abandon. Oh, I now have full control over the US again. My 3 points that I had cracked down on are finally back with me, which means my boost income is much better now. Research is going to be much better. Income. Influence is a lot worse because now I'm at 329 versus 240. So I'm going to abandon some more countries, like Costa Rica, for instance, to get back under. Okay, so I've abandoned, I think, everything. Let me just double check that. So the United States, Kazakhstan, my 1 point in China. Yes, I've abandoned everything else. So I'm back under. I'm at 227 out of 240, so I have room for 13 more, which is honestly not really enough. I would need 38 to take the next point in China. So I'll just maintain on Unity. Protectorate has unlocked Canastra, and they chose Arrival International Development. Again, not the ideal choice for me, but it's okay. I almost have enough boost to build the mine. It'll be in just a few more weeks. Alright, here we go. We have enough boost and money. I didn't have enough money yet. I don't know, even though I had enough boost a few days ago to get to the outpost. So I'm going to build, doesn't matter if I build an Earth or in space. So in 2 months, this will be starting to produce. And then I also need a solar collector to provide power. And I will have the boost in just a few days to add that. Carbon nanotubes complete, initiative picked, mission to the asteroids. That'll be useful eventually, but not that helpful right now. But we can build... Oops, that's not what I want. We can put in our solar collector. So on July 15th, well, June 28th, we gain power, and then July 15th, we have our mine, and it will pay for itself mostly in terms of its water and volatiles, but I'll be accumulating some metals to pay for putting modules and mines and so on Mars, which, as a reminder, that's the probe arrives in February next year, and that will be, then I'll know what all these sites are like. Solid core fission systems done. We completed it, or contributed the most, so we get to choose. So this is helpful in terms of getting reactors for spaceships, which will happen eventually. But most importantly, hopefully we can get nuclear freighters, and that greatly reduce boost costs, greatly increase speed as well, to get our Mars mining up faster. Now, in terms of research, there's 2 important ones to get, both of which will help us with control point cap. So arrival sociology will get us towards independence movements, which will get us towards 1. That's good. And then photonic computing will get us towards, well, get us towards important ones as well. So I think those are the two key ones to get at this point. So I don't usually pause for events, but this was an interesting one. I wonder if she has bad loyalty, and that's why this is happening. But I will assume this is because of I'm having issues within my faction, since we want to peacefully trade with the aliens, and we're clearly not able to do that very easily. So I can either detain her and pay ops, which I have all these alien investigations to do, so I don't really want to pay ops, or I just take a huge hit to public opinion. I mean, we're used to that, I think. I'll go with just shutting down her broadcast as quickly as I can. And US is in 46%. China is pushed all the way up to 54% with all the unity I've been pumping in. Kazakhstan is doing great, so it'll hurt my influence, but I have great income anyways. And we have our mine up. So now you can see that we are actually positive on water. We are negative in volatiles, but it's much lower. This also means that our cost in terms of boost is also reduced, because we're no longer paying so much in boost to send up the water and volatiles. We're not quite positive in volatiles, that's fine. And then we'll just build up a nice stockpile of metals and fissiles to build our outposts in Mars. There's not really much of a point to build more than one, maybe two Mars or Luna mines. We don't really have the boost to pay for another one. At this point, I think I don't really need more boost. I'm producing 8 a month, and I'm gonna have. I did get nuclear freighters, so I think I'll just stop putting into boost and focus more on just getting more cash from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has plenty more cash available that I can put into funding. And the United States is doing some funding as well as mission control. I don't have any other place to get mission control really, so I'm putting it in here. I need a lot more than 12 when I'm actually putting things on Mars. In fact, I probably should put more emphasis here. The welfare will eventually get fixed. Or the inequality will eventually get to the point where we can fix our cohesion. Mission asteroid complete, and now I can pick something more useful. So, for instance, I think I will do photonic computing because that's a cheap one. Should get it through quickly, and it's not another social science. I'm trying to grab that so I can maintain control. Photonic computing done. Had to fight for it, but I still maintain control. And if I remember correctly, it's advanced atomic manipulation that I need for more control point camps. I can try to take more points in China. Let me just double check that. A lot of good stuff there. That doesn't... yeah. Transnational coordination requires advanced neural networks. No, I do not want atomic manipulation, although that one is very important too. I need neural networks. And then you can get transnational coordination. That will give me 40, which is basically a full point in China. So that's the one I will pick. Again, I don't want to pick more social science because I already have 2 there. So this gives me, yep, okay. Oh, well, this is a rare project. You don't usually get it, but it does give us 10 control point camp. If you look at it, costs 10,000. So it's difficult to unlock. It will unlock pretty early on if you can get it, but it's very inefficient in terms of getting control point capacity. So I'll eventually get it, of course. I have to get everything, but 10,000 science right now is almost an entire year's worth, or maybe 8-9 months. Rival law is done, and hopefully we'll get common cause soon. That will get us more control point cap. Already underneath it, a little bit more, and we can move on another point in China. And next one, will need to be, I think sociology is what I need. Let me just double check that again. Yeah, independence movements is what I want for the global command structure. So, rival sociology, and trying to maintain control. International development's done. Protectorate picked molten core, which basically helps you get to better drives for your spaceship, better power. Solid core is first stage, molten core is next. So long-term useful. Right now, not that great. Advanced neural networks is done, and that does mean transnational coordination will unlock. A few other nice things like administration nodes that'll be useful later. We need to pick the next global tech. So this would be good for space mining. But construction module would be very nice as well. But I think advanced atomic manipulation, because that's going to help us get towards quantum computing, which helps us get towards our 6th counselor. We need covert operations, and just to confirm that, covert operations requires quantum encryption, which requires quantum computing. So I'll start moving on that. Quantum computing. Yeah, that's a long way away, but we want to get it started. And yeah, I can take control of all 3 actually. That'd be very nice. Excellent. Common cause is available. That would increase it by 10. And I'll just take out social science lab. I'll get that eventually. I can't really use that until I have mining up. Common cause will be useful right away. Okay. Arrival of sociology done. And independence movements is what I want. It mostly creates claims for you to break up countries, assuming you want to do that. But most importantly, for faction projects, global command structure. So that's the one I'm doing. And that'll be done mid-June, possibly sooner once the AI starts. And our probe has arrived. So first of all, vision is important because there's not much sunlight. It's not nearly as strong. So solar panels simply do not work on Mars. And let's check it out. So what we're looking for are sites that can fund us with water, volatiles. Basically, we want some of everything So let's see. I'm going to take a look at all of these and kind of report back on the ones I think are the best. Okay, so I have looked at things, and there are a few that are really good that are clear no-brainers. So Acidalia Planitia, it's got the best fissiles on Mars, which isn't that great, but you definitely need fissiles. Really, you need income and everything. It's got quite good in terms of volatiles and water. Has pretty good metals. The only thing it's missing really is noble metals. So Acidalia, I found that, and as you can see, it costs me boost and money I can't pay with space resources. That's for the outpost. But when I build the mine, I'll be able to do that. And that'll take another close to a year. This was faster thanks to some of the texts that I have completed. But the next one that I think is really important to get, Tharsis. This has by far the best metals here for me, or noble metals for me. Has pretty good regular metals. And not so great in terms of water and volatiles, but good enough. So Tharsis Montes. And now I'm up to 8 out of 16 for my mission control. I don't have a lot of mission control, sadly. So in terms of the other ones, I now have pretty solid production of everything. I might not more water and volatiles. So I think Utopia Benicia, it's got great water, pretty good volatiles, pretty good metals and base and noble metals. Oh wait, I don't have the same name. Oh, I picked the wrong thing. Well, that's good for water. I'll pretend I meant to do that. Which one was I trying to go for again? Ah, yes, Utopia Planeta. I'll go for Utopia Planeta 2. There we go. Okay, and then if I go into these, I can build on Earth, it'll cost me 60 boost. I can build in space, it'll cost me 6 boost. I have to pay some water and metals. I have plenty for all of these. Let's build that. And then for the fission pile, I can again build in space, pay a very small amount of boost, and I just put in a little bit of metals, fissiles, and water. Again, I have some stockpiled. So I'm going to do that for all of them. Down to just former mission control left. Okay, so I probably have room for one more. So I've got great water production, great volatile production, pretty good metals. So what I would be looking for is probably fissiles and nobles. There's not much left for either. I think here's Yes, here is the next best one in terms of fissiles. Has some noble metals, has plenty of regular metals, and some water and volatile. So I'm going to go for this one. That'll be my last outpost for now. Make sure I'm clicking the right one. Kind of wish it would automatically jump to the one you had selected there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I am out of metals and water, so I can't actually build a mine there. I will be able to accumulate them. Yes, yeah, build cost 18.5 metals. I only have 7. But in a month or so, I'll be able to build that one. And the other thing I wanted to do, now that I'm going to have some resource production and I've got my kind of initial mines put in, I don't really have mission control for anything else. I want to try and claim some of the station here in Lower Earth Orbit. This will take up my last mission control and boost, mission control. But the reason for doing that, let me just found one, is that if you can build these labs, they increase your bonuses on research, which is very nice. But they also have interface bonuses. So investments in welfare improves, investments in military, investments in mission control, and then also detecting alien activity. And there's plenty of that going on right now. So I already put a little bit of work into International Space Station. But with a small amount of my rest of my metals.
See if we can get this alignment and initialization in then.
I'll be building a little bit more here. So I already have one xenology being built. That costs 10 power. I can only fit 2. Or I can fit a space science, and yeah, just I'll do that.
Guys, we're going to initialize. Just go on the initialization.
Now I basically used up all my water production. I'm now burning a bunch of boosts to pay for things like the volatiles, but that's okay. I have the mines coming in. They'll come online in probably about the end of the year.
I know how you looking down there.
And then I can, and at that point, I'll want to massively expand my space presence. Possibly building my first space warship, as well as many other interface stations to fully take advantage of those bonuses. So I need mission control, and the United States is producing it. I also need money, so the United States is producing that too. And I think with, yes, I will bump down welfare even more because it's really looking pretty good. As long as I keep my public opinion high, it's going to slowly move up towards the nice 5 of cohesion. It's already at 4.42. And that means I'm producing mission control almost every month. So in 10 months, I will have produced maybe 8 or so mission control. And the bonuses to mission control from the interface from my stations. Social science lab gets me an extra +3, so I'll get an extra +3 bonus once that finishes in March. I also have China building some mission control, but it'll take longer. I only have one control point after all. Pretty soon I'll be able to take the next control point. Oh, Protectorate has India. I'll be able to push more in there. Well, to be honest, because I'll just push more on funding for China. That is probably going to help me more because mission control. I'm not going to get most of the mission control, but the funding. There's 16 per year spread out across all of this. So I'm going to be getting more of the money, or I'm going to actually gain a benefit if I boost mission control. This security apparatus will get the next one, then national industries, and then bureaucracy, and then finally mine. So it'll take me 4 or 5 completions before I actually see any benefit. With the funding, I'll get the benefit faster. And Kazakhstan, well, Kazakhstan's maxed out mission control. It can't do any more. So it's just pure funding. Once I finish funding, I'll figure out what to do. Probably try to fix up the economy a little bit. If it's performing better in terms of economic output, probably that's what determines how much mission control you can build. So I might be able to get an extra mission control or 2 out of it. But that's the plan for the countries. Just pushing mission control as hard as I can, as well as some funding, because I need cash. I need lots of cash. And what is going on with the rest of the world? Well, the resistance is doing pretty well in Europe. They haven't actually unified anybody into the European Union yet. If they can get the servants out of Germany, they could pull that off. Humanity First has fully taken over Russia after I abandoned it. Yeah. And India Protectorate is kind of sharing it with a bunch of other factions. Japan is a mix of initiative and servants. It's kind of all over the place. I'm doing really well now because United States has a lot of research output. So I'm at 1.7. Nobody's even up to 1,000 per month yet. But they've got lots of boost. At least a few of them do, like Humanity First. A lot of boost income. And plenty of mission control for all of them. So they've already established outposts and orbital stations. They'll probably be moving to try and mine the moon, sending things to Mars pretty soon as well. They can certainly afford it. Wow, he has 11 engineering projects. Oh, and he's 9. Yeah, I wish I had that, but that must be from their orgs. In terms of relations, the only real war going on is between the two more alien-friendly factions than us, and the Resistance. That's kind of good to see, actually. I'd prefer that they fight each other than going after me. I'm still in tolerance for most of them, actually all of them. Well, I guess they haven't triggered the hate increase yet, despite me being ahead of them in pretty much everything. All right, yeah. So that's it. Next episode, we will get those mines on Mars online. I'll start building up an orbital infrastructure, and I'll start talking about what we need to do for putting actual military presence in space. There's currently an alien ship doing a survey mission. That surveillance is its role. Oh, we can see a lot of their things now. This is not a super dangerous ship. It's pretty lightly armored and such. Just one laser and a light mass driver. Not a lot of armor. This can be beaten in a fight. And we have a... Hold on, where is it? Oh yeah. We have an objective to salvage alien technology. Shooting down a ship will work. They will get mad at us. They'll retaliate, but they don't really hate us very much yet. They don't think we're a threat. That will change once we start poking at them. But in the early game, there are ways to win fights. It's painful. Our tech is not very good. I have basically done zero research into building a space fleet yet, but I will be moving towards that pretty soon. The solid core, the molten core will be there. And that's all for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. I'm always happy to explain what I'm doing in more detail. And see you all next time.